And we are back. Ashley? No, we are not. Okay, now we're actually really back. So here's what we got. And I'm going to explain to you what my rationale and my thinking is for why I chose the books that I chose to purchase to start to start the beginnings, the fledgling beginnings of what is going to become like my self-help, personal development, you know, library. I'm sure over the coming months and years, um, I'll come across a lot more than just this stack of seven. What I'm going to call beginner books. I mean, for me, it's beginner books. Um, just to help me get my mind right. Not to discount this book, which for me is paramount. What you choose is your business, is your persuasion. This is my choice. Um, so that's just a given. Moving along. For me, here's what it boils down to, and this is my top to bottom. What I am tentatively, and I've switched this this order around a number of times so far already. I mean, these guys just came today. The box from Amazon just arrived today while I was out. Thinking fast and slow. So here's my deal. I want to make better decisions. I want to make better choices. I want to live a better life. I want to live a fulfilled and healthy and happy and effective and juicy life, full of love and happiness and joy and fulfillment. But I know I have no idea how my brain works. I have no idea why I make the decisions that I make. I have no idea what information I'm preferential to in making those decisions. I like to say, and I don't know where I heard this, I don't know if I made this up, I don't know if I heard it from somebody, but I like to say the decisions that I make are only as good as the information that I have available with which to use to make that decision. I have no idea if I'm using good information or not in my daily, everyday life decisions. Now, like I said previously, um, I feel like I'm living a fairly decent life. It's better than most. Not as good as some, better than most. Uh, and not that I'm ungrateful, for the life that I live. I just know that there's something better. I know there's another level. I know there's that next level. And then I know after I reach that next level, there's another next level. There's always a next level of improvement, in quality and conditions that I can make. I can always improve the quality. I can always improve the quality of my decision making. I can always improve the quality of the information that I use to make those decisions, and I can always improve the outcomes that I expect and want to create from those decisions, which motivate me, to make the decisions in the first place, to endeavor to make the decisions in the first place. Okay, so first I need to know how I think. I need to know why I think the way I think. I need to know how to make better choices and decisions. I need to know why I am making the choices and decisions that I'm making the way that I make them, right? So that guy right there, Thinking Fast and Slow, from everything that I've read about it, all of the, like reviews, and the introduction is phenomenal. It's blowing me away. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. And I'm one gajillion positive that this was a very wise move and investment. Okay, so I want to know how to make better decisions. And after I learn how to make better decisions, how I understand how my mind works, so that I am not being influenced by wrong thinking. Let's just simplify it and say it that way, so that I am not being influenced by wrong thinking to make decisions that are contrary to the plan that I'm laying out on my whiteboard and, in my little, ledgers and books and journals and different things that I use to kind of track what I'm doing a little bit, so I know where I'm coming from and where I'm going. If I don't know how to think, there's no need in me moving on to how to use the information that I get in a more processed, rational, repeatable way, right? To achieve the best outcome that I can each and every time. So first, I need to know how to think so that I can make better decisions and choices, or rather so that I can more successfully identify the best information to use to make better decisions and choices. And so that I don't allow my flaws and my upbringing and my pre-programmed way of thinking to lead me to make poor decisions. So this guy right here, The New Rational Manager, by Kapner and Trigo, I believe is going to help me make phenomenal choices, phenomenal decisions, rational. Is going to help me to utilize all of that information that I've now learned how to process through a better lens to make better decisions, to do proper decision analysis, to do proper, and I'm using some of the terminology from the book because I fortunately have recently gone through a KT training, a week-long KT training at my company. I work right now for a prominent software company. Let's say it like that. I'm not giving any free advertisement. But anyway, real good job, decent job, great company. Just did this training. And I already know I came out of that training super, super stoked, super excited about the possibilities and the potential, not only in my professional life, but in my personal life also, how that would help me to make better decisions. It would make me a little bit more analytical and less emotional in my decision making. Okay, so now after I've learned how my mind works and functions and operates, and how to force it to assess information through a clearer spectrum, a clearer vision, and not clouded through the, quote unquote, rose-colored glasses of experiences and history and yada yada. So after I've learned how to think, and now I'm able to take that data and process it in a systematic and predictable process. This same training, this same process was used by NASA to bring the Apollo 13 back. They used the decision analysis portion of this training to bring those dudes back, back to the crib. Through all of the different obstacles and everything that they had to overcome to make the best decision, to best utilize what they had at that moment. Okay, so now after I can make great decisions because I can think better, now let's understand what other stuff, that guy right there, habits, bad habits, bad habits. There are good habits and there are bad habits. There's no sense in me trying to go on and, jump immediately into trying to learn what the 7 habits of highly effective people are. Who are people whose lives I want to emulate if I have no idea what a habit is or how it affects my life. So my theory is, first, learn what the power of a habit is. What is the power of a habit? How do I break the bad ones and create new ones to put in their place? How do I maintain those good new habits and continue to force out the bad habits, that kept me in a bad place? So first, I need to know what a habit is and how to use that power, the power of habit, to my benefit instead of to my detriment. Then I can move on to learning what the 7 habits of highly effective people are. So first, I want to learn about the power of habit. Then I can move on to the 7 habits of highly effective people. And in knowing the power of the habit, those 7 habits will mean more to me. I'll be able to more effectively implement them and synthesize them into my daily life. And so now my thinking is correct, my decision making is off the charts, my ability to make a decision, my ability to assess a situation, quickly assess a situation, and make good rational choices and decisions based on the best information that I have available to me with which to make that decision, and do that with intent and purpose habitually, right, will put me in a great place, a great state of mind. That, for me, that's my inward looking portion. These 4 guys, this is my inward, my introspective, the introspective phase of this exercise in my life. This is where I'm focusing on me internally. Forget about what's going on externally. Forget about externalities. Forget about environment. Forget about what's going on in the world. Forget about what the news is saying. Forget about, what the wife is saying. Forget about what the kids are saying. Forget about what everybody is saying, all the noise, and go internal, go inside, go inward, and work on that situation first. Clean that all up, scrape out the gunk, and get my mind, ready and primed to tackle me and make changes in me so that I can then start making changes, affecting change in the environment around me and in the people around me, which moves me on to the second portion, influence, the psychology of persuasion. How do you consistently make a motherfucker be on your side? How do you consistently, how do you play that social game? Everything is Survivor. How do you play that social game? To me, there it is right there. So after I'm learning how to play that social game to help persuade people to be on my side, to be in alignment with my views and my thinking, my plan, my strategies, so that I can ultimately achieve the goals that I want to achieve. I'm not trying to rob people of anything that belongs to them or anything like that. I'm just trying to influence people to be on my team. You know what I'm saying? I need to influence people to be on my team, to be down with me. Not for me to be down with them, but for them to be down with me. That's different. There's a big difference in that. So I learned how to influence. I learned the psychology of persuasion. how to not manipulate, but how to influence other people's, just like how to influence other people's decision making and thinking and habits, to become better also. The stronger your team is, the stronger you are. The stronger you are, the stronger your team is. If everybody on your team is also trying to be strong, it's a wrap. How do I read people and say, hey, are you really being influenced by me, or are you like just BSing me? What everybody is saying. Let's do like this, because that's I almost want to say most important. I'm going to let y'all see these covers also. The new Rational Manager, an updated edition for a new world. Charles H. Kettner, Benjamin B. Trago. That guy, again, is Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. I don't know how to pronounce his last name properly. Forgive me. Pardon my ignorance. If you know how to properly pronounce the man's name, Kahneman, maybe. I don't know. Kahneman. Kahneman? How about that? I'll take that one. If you know how to pronounce it, let me know. And I don't know if y'all are catching this, but many, if not all, of these books are or have been like a New York Times bestseller, some type of bestseller, some type of best something. The Power of Habit, Why We Do What We Do in Life and Business by Charles Duhigg. You got to read like the backs of books, what people have said about the book, just flip them over and read sometimes. Read those intros and those forwards. Anniversary edition. This guy right here, I figured, look, if 25 million copies have been sold in the 25 years of print that this book has been sold in, then damn it, I need it in my library too. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This right here, I think, is going to be a game changer for me. A real game changer, and I'm really, really excited. I'm looking forward to finally getting to a place where I'm ready, where the soil is nice and tilled, the amendments are good, I got all the right nutrients and everything to go ahead and start growing and building on this guy right here. Revised edition, national bestseller, Influence, Psychology of Persuasion, Robert B. Cialdini, PhD. Let's go. Nothing else needs to be said about that one that I haven't already said. Okay, getting back down to this guy finally. International bestseller, What Everybody is Saying, an ex-FBI agent's guide to speed reading people. Okay, so here's my intention with this. I'm sitting in a meeting. I'm chit-chatting somebody up about, here's my great idea about this and my great idea about that. And here's why I think we shouldn't be doing that other stupid thing, and why we shouldn't be doing, this stupid thing that stupid person over there, is stupidly suggesting that we follow and do. It's that same stinking thinking that's gotten us into the situation that we're currently in. What I want to know is who in the room is on my team and who's not. If I can identify quickly who's on my team and who's not, I may be able to use the power of persuasion and influence and all of that logic and theory and rationality to get them on my side, right? To sway them. I'm just trying to do business. I'm trying to build business. I'm trying to be as successful as I possibly can. I know eventually one day I'm going to be standing in a room with some type of heavy hitter who's been doing business, professionally, in rooms and at board tables with sharks for a lot longer than I have. And I want to know how to swim in those shark infested waters and to be able to come out unscathed, and survive. And not just survive, but to thrive and overcome effectively, efficiently, and adaptably. Thrive and overcome. So I need to be able to read motherfuckers and see what they're saying without only focusing on the words that are coming out of their mouth. Because that's not where the real conversation is. The real conversation is in that body language, those facial expressions, those eyes, I just want to I want to have every advantage that I can, every single advantage that I can, to make the best decisions, yet again, to make the best decisions. Let's get down to the granddaddy of them all. And you'll see he is at the bottom of the stack for a reason. We got this national bestseller. If you don't know about this book, you might not have your focus in the right place. You might not have been, you don't have the right stuff calling out to you right now to have led you to a place, unless this is that moment for you where you've come into contact with this guy right here, 48 Laws of Power, where it's been by Robert Greene, where this book has been introduced to your eyes, and somebody says, at some point in your life, at some point, you're gonna have to read this book, and you're gonna have to, from what I'm understanding, hearing about it, maybe not fully play by every single rule, and maybe fully play by every single rule, that's laid out in these 48 Laws of Power, or like every single law that's laid out in these 48 Laws of Power. Some of the stuff in here you may not be willing to do, but from what I'm understanding, all these heavy hitters who are really, really out there making noise, making big moves, doing big things, achieving greatness and wonderful success. They read this joint, and they are implementing it, and regardless of how you feel about it, regardless of what you think about it, regardless of, your intentions or ability, willingness to utilize the information in this book. Somebody is using the information in this book against you. So you might as well know what it is that is being done to you. Get it? No, I haven't read it myself. That's why it's sitting here all crispy and fresh and new and spiffy and perfect, with no dog ears, no nothing, not a highlight, fresh, brand new out of the box. When you see this thing at the end, after I'm done with it, you'll know that I've studied it. So basically, here's where I'm going with this. It's a kill or be killed world. It's a eat or be eaten world. It's a fire or be fired world. Yeah, I want to operate and live with grace and truth and hope and love and charity and all of that. I want to be wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dove. I feel like this is part of that. That being wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Maybe you caught that, maybe you didn't. But at any rate, that's where I am. So that's what I'm working on. That's my stack, if you will. Like you have your nutrient, stacks, your supplements. supplement stacks that you take. You know, you have your creatine, you have your BCAAs, you have your L-glutamine, L-carnitine, L-citrulline, L-ornithine, or orthanine, however the heck it's pronounced. You know, you have your amino acids, your essential amino acids, and all those different things. You have all your stuff, your stack, your caffeine, you got your taurine, you know, your vitamins, your vitamin D3, your B's, you know, different things like that. You got your protein, you know, you got your stack. That's my stack. That's my stack right there. So I rambled on enough. Hopefully you will find this book list helpful. Maybe you got a couple you want to add. Maybe you got a couple you want to replace. Maybe you got a couple you want to subtract. I don't know. Don't care. For me, that's my stack right there. That's me. I'm going through that process. I'm going through those steps. And I absolutely, unequivocally, 100,000% believe and know in my heart of hearts that when I'm done with that, it really will be a next level. The next level. So that's it, y'all. That's all. Love you. Appreciate you. All the same old stuff that they all say after, you know, they come to the close of, you know, one of their YouTube videos. Like, subscribe, comment, you know, all of that good stuff. Let me know what you think. Let me know if this was helpful to you in any way. Let me know, you know, whatever. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. So if you want to dissuade me or discourage me, that's fine too. I'll take that fuel and feed it, you know, into the fiery furnace. That is my resolve. My resolve to move on, my resolve to edify myself, my resolve to strengthen and build up myself, my resolve to correct and fix my thinking, create new habits in my life, learn the habits, you know, of other highly effective people, you know, and get a mentor. You know what I'm saying? While I'm on the subject, one of the things that I'm really, really, really working on right now is, you know, seeking out and reaching out to and establishing relationships with people with the expressed, open, honest, expressed intent of having them be a mentor for me in my life, in some area of my life. I want to have business mentors. I want to have career mentors. I want to have family and relationship mentors. I want to have, you know, health and wholeness and happiness, you know, exercise, fitness mentors. You know, C.T. Fletcher, you know, hollering in your ears, steal your motherfucking set, you know. Mentors, people that will help me to reach heights of heights of success that I've never reached before. They say to do something you've never done, to have something you never had, you have to do something you've never done. I'm tired of doing the same stuff over and over again, so I'm trying something new. Here's my something new that I'm trying. You know, everything's been going well so far. I've lost a lot of weight, you know. I've come down from 272, and I'm going to keep it right there. I've come down from 272 to now 249. I've done it with the help of various mentors that I've placed in my life, that I've allowed to be placed in my life, that I've chosen, you know, to listen to and work with. Shout out to Big Brandon Carter. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Much love, much respect. Big up for everything you do, everything you've done, for every word of encouragement, and for giving me a plan. Intermittent fasting is saving my life, literally. 6 months ago, I started in February of 2016. 6 months ago, at the time of recording this video, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure. I was, very overweight also. Poor diet, no exercise, a sedentary, you know what I'm talking about, a sit on your ass lifestyle, and career, I'm a cloud networking engineer for a loud, prominent software company. So I sit on my butt all day, in front of computer screens and not doing anything. So, I've made different lifestyle changes. I've listened to different advice, and I've started following a plan in the process. And there's that meal plan. You have to grade that out. You don't need to know all that detailed information, but there's that meal plan, that they put together for me over there at Bro Labs. Bro Labs, where we get you right. So yeah, I'm on another page, another level right now. Hey, if you haven't seen that, you need to get that. I'm about to put it up for sale. Just bought it, but whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna edit that piece out too, maybe. But you need to get this. It wasn't available. I just wanted to watch it. It wasn't available on Redbox or the Netflix. Yes, I said the Netflix. It wasn't available on Redbox or Netflix, and I found out after the fact that I could get it on YouTube, for a little fee or something like that. So yeah, I just got it literally today also, and I'm gonna turn right back around and sell it because now I know where I can get it, for a nominal fee. Great movie, just action. I know that ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but so what? That is a bomb movie. If you liked John Wick, this joint is for you. That's all I gotta say. If you like Tarantino, John Wick, this joint is for you. This joint is for you. I've been told, I have it on good authority, that this is good also. The sequel. So I got that basically on the strength of the word of the person who originally introduced me to that. So I'm going to check both of these out this weekend. That's my movie weekend. And since I'm here showing you basically what's on my desk, yeah, I'm one of those dudes.